Once upon a time, in a kingdom far, far away, there lived a very beautiful princess. She was so beautiful that the whole kingdom knew her as Al-Hasnia, which meant the most beautiful in Arabic. Now this beauty had one fatal flaw, and that was that she only liked to talk about herself. It didn't matter who you were or what you did. All she would do was talk about how great and amazing she was. One day, while she was out strolling in the gardens of the palace, she came across an old woman. The old woman, who was actually a witch, could not stand listening to the princess's endless chatter anymore. So she stopped her and said, "Oh, princess, I am so tired of hearing you talk about yourself all the time. Why don't you come with me, and I will show you someone who is much, much more beautiful than you." The princess got bored of hearing herself talk, so she agreed to the witch's proposal. The two of them traveled for a long time until they reached a huge castle made of black stones. The princess was stunned by the magnificence of the castle. As they stepped inside, they saw a magnificent throne made of pure gold. Sitting on the throne was a man unlike any other. He was tall and muscular, but his face was covered with thick, long, dark hair. The princess was afraid at first, but then she began to think that maybe this hairy man was the one who was more handsome than her, as the witch had promised. So she went up to him and tried to pull his hair apart to take a look at his face. But the man was very angry at her intrusion and pushed her away. The princess was now terrified. Who was this monster? What did he want from her? The man spoke in a deep, scary voice. "Who are you? How dare you enter my chamber without my permission?" The princess replied in a trembling voice, "I am the most beautiful princess in the kingdom. This wicked witch brought me here to see if I would be scared of you and to make fun of me." The man looked at the princess and laughed. "You think you are the most beautiful girl around? Well, I can change that for you." And before the princess could understand what was happening, he transformed her into a hideous beast. The princess screamed in horror as she looked at her own reflection in a nearby mirror. Her skin was now scaly and green, her eyes were red and bulging, and her teeth were sharp and long like those of a snake. The man approached her and said, "Now you will stay here with me and be my prisoner." The princess cried out, "But why? I didn't do anything wrong to you." The man responded, "You were rude and disrespectful when you entered my chamber. Now you will learn some manners." And so the princess spent the next few days locked in a tower of the castle, crying and wishing she could go back to her old life. She tried to make the best of the situation, though, and she began to clean the tower and make it her own. One day, she heard footsteps coming up the tower. She hid under a blanket until the person passed by, and she poked her head out and asked, "Who's there?" A small voice replied, "It's just me, a little teapot." The princess couldn't believe what she was hearing. A talking teapot. Was this a dream or was she going crazy? The teapot continued, "My name is Chatty, and I have been trapped in this tower along with you. Do you know how to break the curse?" The princess shook her head. "I'm afraid I don't." "How did you get trapped here?" Chatty explained, "That wicked witch turned me into a teapot because I wouldn't stop gossiping about her to the king. And she threatened to turn the king into a frog unless I kept quiet. That's how he became the Frog Prince." The princess thought for a moment. If the witch had cursed Chatty for gossiping and had cursed the man for being rude to her, maybe she could lift both of their curses by being kind and respectful to them. So she went down to the main hall to find the man. But instead of finding a man, she saw a big, scary lion. The lion growled at her and she screamed in terror. But then she remembered what she had to do. She approached the lion slowly and respectfully and said, "I am sorry for being rude to you before. Please forgive me." The lion was taken aback by her apology. No one had ever apologized to him before. He felt a surge of emotions he had never felt before, like kindness and compassion. And with that, the lion turned back into the man. The man was stunned. He couldn't believe that a princess was apologizing to him. He had been so used to people screaming and running away from him that it was a shock to his system. He stammered, I don't know what to say." The princess said, "Please forgive me for what I said before. You really don't look like a beast to me." The man blushed and realized that he had been so focused on his appearance that he had forgotten what it was like to be treated kindly. He felt a warmth spread through his chest that had nothing to do with his lion's fur. The princess then went to the tower where Chatty the teapot was waiting. She knocked on the door and said, "I am sorry for being so self-centered and not listening to you. Please forgive me." Chatty opened the door and said, "Oh, princess, I knew you would come to apologize, so I didn't pour hot water on your head when you entered." The princess smiled and said, "Thank you. You're a true friend." With that, Chatty was transformed back into a beautiful lady. The princess and Chatty became best friends, and the man and the princess fell in love. They all lived happily ever after in the magnificent castle made of black stones. The end. If you enjoyed this classic fairy tale, please don't forget to hit the like button and share it with your friends and family. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to keep creating wonderful content for you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.